for a long time, I wasn't feeling well. I mean, I was just like existing. But now I feel like myself again, plus 30 pounds.
Oh girl, I like you, I do. I wanna be a friend, go shopping in the Benz. I like you, I do. I hit you in the leg, can you fit me in your plans? I like you, I do. We went up at friends and we woke up in Japan. I like you, I do. Oh girl, I know you only like fancy, so I pull up in that Maybach candy. Yeah, your boyfriend will never understand me, cause I'm about to pull this girl like a hand. Let's take a little dip, little lady. Hit PCH for me. Yeah, I've been thinking lately that I need some hugs.
Hey Rollettes and Rollers, it's me, your girl Anita, and I'm back with another video. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about menopause. Yes, y'all, I've been telling y'all for a while I wanted to do a video on this, and you know I'm always talking about it in my vlogs and stuff, saying, damn, this menopause, this menopause, that, and I know that a lot of you all can relate to what I've been talking about. So I figured, why not like do a discussion about it? It's because I know that I have a lot of family members that are going through the same things, and it's just, I just feel like it's not talked about enough. Because when you think about menopause, you think about like your mother going through it. I think about my mother going through it, and back then all I really knew was like, okay, you get hot flashes and you may have some night sweats. But little did I know all the other issues and all the other symptoms that come along with being in menopause. And I know for me, like when I would go and I would talk to my doctor about it, I felt like a lot of times like we're just like, I don't know about you guys, I'm just gonna talk from my experience, but I know that a lot of times I felt like I was being brushed off, and it's just like, well, that's a part of life, you're just gonna have to deal with it. But I feel like they could do a better job of preparing us women for this phase of life. So I'm talking to you guys from my perspective, because I want to put a disclaimer out there. I am in no way a medical professional, a menopause expert, or anything like that. I'm just gonna do like a general overview about menopause, like what is menopause, the stages of menopause, the symptoms of menopause, and those types of things. And then I'm just going to talk to you about it from my perspective. But yeah, so I'm sure some of you can relate, but like I said, there's a lot of things I just feel like they don't prepare us for. And I feel like a lot of times we're just told, oh, well, that's just a part of getting older. You're getting older, so this is just something you're going to have to deal with it. But like I said, a lot of the symptoms that come along with it, they don't tell you about. So sometimes that can make you feel like, what is wrong with me? Am I going crazy? Am I losing my mind? Why do I feel like this? I don't feel like myself, like something isn't right. So we're just going to go over those, and I'm going to also provide you with some alternatives that I have been using that have really helped me, even though it took me a while to get to that phase. But anyway, guys, if you want to talk about menopause, or if you want to hear what I have to say about menopause, just keep on watching, and we about to get into it. Okay, so we're going to start from the beginning. So what is menopause? Menopause is when a woman's ovaries stop producing eggs. So what happens during that process is that a woman will have a decrease in progesterone, which is an important hormone, and a decrease in estrogen, which is another important hormone. And with the decline in those hormones, it starts to make our bodies go wacky. So I have my notepad, so I'm gonna, if you see me looking down, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, I just wanna make sure I don't leave anything out. Now, what are the stages of menopause? There's 3 stages of menopause. You have perimenopause, you have menopause, and then you have postmenopause. So you say a woman, like me, I'm in the 3rd phase. I'm postmenopausal now. Doesn't mean I'm out of it, it just means that I'm in the post phase. So perimenopausal is perimenopause can happen 8 to 10 years before actual menopause sets in. And during that phase is when you start to experience a lot of the symptoms like the hot flashes and things like that. And like I said, it can happen 8 to 10 years before actual menopause sets in. And I'll keep going on about the symptoms after we go through these phases. So menopause only lasts 1 day. Actual menopause actually only lasts 1 day. You reach menopause after you have not had a menstrual cycle for 12 months straight. Consecutive 12 months with no menstrual cycle. Then you have that 1 day where you're like, okay, haven't had a period for a year. That's the day you hit menopause. The next day, you become postmenopausal. So after that, after you haven't had your, once you hit menopause and you haven't had your period for a year, you're postmenopausal, and then we stay in that phase for the rest of our lives. Don't look at that as a bad thing. That's just what it is, because we no longer can have babies after that. So let's just go over some of the symptoms, and I'm sure like some of y'all can relate to this. One of the main symptoms is the hot flashes. The hot flashes, oh my gosh. I can't even explain how the hot flashes are. I know it just seems like, oh, it's just a hot flash. No, I can't even explain it. I remember to this day the first time that I had a hot flash. We didn't have this couch at the time. We had our old couch, but it was during COVID in 2020. I was sitting right there on the couch watching the news of stuff that was going on with COVID. And my body felt like somebody had lit a match under my feet, and I just started burning up from the feet up. My hot flashes would get so bad, y'all, that my face would turn red, and I felt like I was going to pass out. I would get so hot. That's one of the main symptoms. Another symptom is night sweats. The night sweats were unbearable. I mean, you wake up, the bed is soaking wet, you're constantly waking up, you can't get a good night's sleep. So, because you can't get a good night's sleep because you're waking up all night, excuse me, because of the hot flashes, you're tired because you're not sleeping at night. Then you have hair thinning, hair's falling out, hair's thinning, and you don't know why, you don't know what's going on. It's just a multitude of things. You also, at that during that phase before you hit menopause, you're having irregular periods. Like, I know for me, I want to say my perimenopause probably started when I was 45. My period started becoming very irregular, and my period would come like clockwork, but then it started becoming very irregular, and I wouldn't have a period for like 3 months. And then when it did come, it would be for like a day or two. It was really weird. So I could tell something was going on, but I didn't know it was that time yet. It was working up to that way. But those symptoms did start pretty early on for me. Another symptom is going to be irritability and moodiness. Like, you can become really irritated. Like, you'll be snapping at your family and stuff, and you don't know why. Like, for my family, I just had to explain to them, look, I'm so sorry. You know, I just get real irritated real easily. And that doesn't make it okay. I mean, but like, we just can't control it. We get irritated, we get moody. And it's just all because we're losing these hormones that we need. So that's part of it. Then another one of the symptoms that can come with menopause is osteoporosis. So I'll get into that a little later. But then another main one is vaginal dryness and pain during sex. Sorry if this makes you guys uncomfortable. It just is what it is. But yes, low libido, that all comes with it, because like I said, once again, the loss of those hormones just affects so much more than just, you know, us having night sweats. And then joint pain. One thing that I feel like they never really talk about is the joint pain. I used to get severe hip pain, knee pain, just so many pains in my joints and stuff. Shoulders, elbows, everything just hurt. It just hurt so bad. I was just like, this is like no way to live. But like I said, the doctor, I felt like really wasn't helping me with this. So I had to start doing some research on my own. Another thing that menopause there's probably more symptoms than that, but those are like the main symptoms. So we got night sweats, hot flashes, irritability, brain fog, joint pain, moodiness, low libido, vaginal dryness, just all of it. So another thing that menopause can affect too is it can affect our mental health. And how it does that is because you start to get anxiety. And I noticed that I started becoming a little more anxious, but I didn't understand why. Like, it got so bad, y'all. It's to the point now I don't even like to drive on highways. So if I have to go somewhere, I will take the long route. That's why when I go to my mother's house, I always tell you guys, she lives in Virginia. But now it takes me like 2 hours to get there because I cut through the city. I don't like driving on the highways anymore because I start to literally have anxiety attacks. And then just certain things make me anxious now. So, and I wasn't like that before. So you can get a lot of anxiety, like I said, the mood swings, the irritability. You can get depressed and just be feeling sad because you don't understand what's happening to you. You don't feel like yourself. You just feel like you're, I don't want to say you because I'm talking about for me, but I know for me, I was feeling like I was walking around in some type of altered state. Like my body was here, but like I wasn't in it. Does that make sense to y'all? And I wasn't used to feeling that way because I'm a get up and go and a happy-go-lucky type of person. And I was just like, ugh. I had motivation to do nothing. No motivation at all. Oh, and I forgot like one of the main symptoms of menopause. That is weight gain. And the reason you guys may think, oh, why am I gaining all this weight? And yes, it could be from eating, but the problem is cortisol levels go up. And cortisol is a stress hormone. So once that goes up, that causes all the belly fat and stuff is the cortisol. And so even if you work out and you're eating right and stuff, you'll be like, I'm doing all this stuff. Like, why can't I lose this weight? It has a lot to do with the cortisol levels. And I'll get into that part and what you can do about that a little later. But I'm just trying to go through these right now to so we can get through it. But another part of the mental part too is like just feeling sad. Like I said, you know, it's a big difference. You know, one day you're like this and then the next day you're just like, what is going on with me? Why am I feeling like this? And I mean, those feelings are all normal. And if you're confused about it, and if you are feeling some type of way, it is normal because it is a big change. And it is hard to deal with. But there are ways to deal with it. And there is a way to get through it. And you will get through with it. It will not last forever. Even though it seems like it lasting forever. It won't last forever. Trust me. You'll be able to manage it. But now I'm just going to talk about some lifestyle changes that you can do that can actually help with a lot of these symptoms, because I started to notice what triggered me and triggered my hot flashes. Now, the hot flashes were really fierce. I still have them. They were really fierce for like, I want to say like 4 years, 3 to 4 years. They were like real bad. And then I started to notice like when I ate certain things that it would trigger them, like sugar, definitely. Lord, if I ate something sweet, the hot flashes would go through the roof. Ate something spicy or hot flashes would go through the roof. I noticed that certain things would trigger it, as well as my night sweats. And then another thing is having to go to the bathroom a lot, especially at night. It's so annoying. But here's some lifestyle changes that you can make that can kind of make things a little easier for you. One is trying to eat well and eat better, because certain foods do, like I say, will trigger some of the symptoms. So if you eat more, try to eat more clean, try to limit your processed foods. If you notice in my last few videos, I've showed you like we pretty much don't buy like really any processed food. We may buy 1 or 2 things, but if you notice, we don't buy sweets and things like that. Now, I'm not saying we don't eat them, but if we do eat them, that's like a treat for us. I do try to cook most of our stuff at home because I know what I'm eating, I know what's in the food, and I noticed that since I've been doing that, my symptoms have really decreased. Also, exercising regularly. It's very important that, especially because we're losing estrogen and progesterone, that we exercise. And I'm not talking about cardio, and I'm not talking about being in the gym for hours at a time. I'm talking about strength training. It's important that women of our age, and men too, just getting older anyway, that you start to do some type of strength training, because we're losing bone density. And the muscle will help build that bone density back. If you don't believe me, you can look it up yourself. I'm not sitting here telling you anything that I have not researched. I'm not saying that it's facts or whatever, but I have researched it for my own purposes, because I was like, something's got to change. I started strength training, and it has made such a big difference. Because if you don't start strength training, your bones and everything are going to start to, your bone density starts to decrease. And once you get so weak, it's going to be hard to build that back. I forgot what they call that. I think they call it sarcadia, or somebody can correct me in the comments or something. But your muscles, if you don't use them, you lose them, and you don't want to get to that point. I don't know if any of you have seen that little video, but they show like two old elderly people, and they're the same age, and they have a split screen. One has worked out, one has not. So the one who's worked out is up and still hop-bopping along, and the one who has not worked out can't walk, is hunched over, can barely get up. And so it's like, which one do you want to be? So they say like in your 40s and 50s is really the time you really need to start working out, because it's going to really have an effect on us when we get into our 60s and 70s. So like for me, the research I've done, it says the best workouts for women my age, and I'm 53, is that you do like 2 to 3 full body workouts a week. No more, no less. And yes, try to walk every day. So I do some movement. So you want to do 2 to 3 full body workouts per day. Not per day, 3 days a week, 2 to 3 days a week, like 30 minutes. That's all you have to do. And that will help you build strength. Because I'm telling you, I started really being consistent about 4 months ago. And I couldn't do a squat. I couldn't do anything. I mean, I was so out of shape. But I've been consistent and I can do it all now. It has made such a big difference. I also have started doing yoga, and I'm telling you, mobility-wise, that is the best thing you can do. I mean, it has just really loosened everything up. My joint pain, especially in my hips, was so bad I could barely walk. But the yoga has really helped that. And you guys know I used to always complain about my knees. Well, since I've been doing the weights and doing squats and doing deadlifts and stuff, my knees no longer hurt. I used to have to go down the stairs sideways. Now I can run up the stairs, run down the stairs. I mean, just by building up the muscle around my knee, my quads, and then in my lower legs. So the exercise is very important, and plus you feel better. And another thing that it does, it helps relieve some of the stress. And yoga is good for releasing some of the cortisol, lowering your cortisol levels, because it puts you in a relaxed state. And I think because we're all working and hustling and bustling so much, it keeps us stressed out, so it keeps our cortisol levels high. So you want to do something for yourself that's helping you bring those levels down. Another thing, like I said, another thing I was going to say is trying yoga and meditation, but we just talked about that. So if you have a stressful job or something, it's really important that you take time for you and just sit with yourself. Just meditate. YouTube has some great meditation channels. They have some great yoga channels. I do all my exercises from YouTube. I do everything down at home, downstairs in the gym, and I watch all the stuff on YouTube, exercise channels and everything. I'll put the yoga lady that I watch in the description box, and I'll put another lady that does weight training for people 50 and older. I'll put her down in the description box too. So if you guys want to start doing that, you can. And just try to walk. Start off, even if you can't do 10,000 steps a day, start off with 3,000 steps a day and then work your way up. But it's important to move your body every day, especially if you have a job. Like my job was a sedentary job, and I sat at a desk all day. So I was having a lot of pain. Now I'm home, I'm moving all day long. This is probably the longest I sit. I'm always doing something, moving around. And then when I feel like I'm sitting too long, I can go downstairs and get on my treadmill and say, let me go walk for a few minutes, or I take my dog for a walk. Another thing is you want to try to maintain a healthy weight. And once the weight comes on, it is very hard to get it off. I'm telling you, I feel like I'm doing everything, and this weight is coming off slowly but surely. But I'm not even focusing on trying to lose weight, for vanity. I'm trying to lose this weight for health, because in the last 2 years, I've gained 30 pounds, and this is like the second heaviest I've ever been. I told you guys this before. I was like, got to 180 pounds when I was pregnant with my son. I went from 105 to 180 when I was pregnant with my son. But now this is like the second heaviest I've been, and I just don't feel comfortable this way anyway, because for one, I have a heart condition, so I really need to control my weight and my cholesterol and all that stuff. So I'm just gonna do what I can just for health purposes, and if the vanity comes with it, then that's fine too. But I didn't put this weight on overnight, and it's not gonna come off overnight. And I'm not just trying to do this as a quick fix. I'm doing this as a lifestyle, because this is how I'm gonna have to live the rest of my life. Now don't get me wrong, I'm gonna eat some things and do what I want, and have fun when I go places, but it's all going to be in moderation. Hence why I don't keep any sweets in the house and don't buy sweets. Try not to buy sweets when we go to the store and stuff. If I want that, we go out, and that is a treat that we will get. And my husband, he's pretty good with working with that with me. So he don't have junk in the house. I don't have junk in the house. So when we want it, we just go out and we'll go get it. Another thing is limiting alcohol. You guys know I'm not really a big drinker. The only time I really drink is if I go on vacation, and it's usually like a daiquiri or a pina colada. Those are the types of drinks that I like. I'm not like a drink type of person. Now if I used to be back in my younger days, but now since I've been older, we don't really drink like that. I'm not saying we don't drink at all, but we don't drink that often. We usually are vacation drinkers, or every now and then social drinkers if we go out to dinner with some friends or something. If you notice certain things, like I was saying, that triggers your symptoms, like I was saying, I know sugar and hot spicy stuff sometimes will trigger my hot flashes. Not so much now, because I feel like they're getting to the level where they're starting to subside. They're not nearly as bad as what they used to be. But avoid them. And then another thing, a main thing, I can't stress this enough, dress in layers. You guys know once I started having the hot flashes and going through menopause, I always dressed in layers. I had a wardrobe. I always wear bodysuits because I always wear like tank tops like this. Wearing stuff that has long sleeves and stuff sometimes can be hard for me, because when the hot flashes would kick in, I felt like I needed to strip down. So if I can peel the layers back and then do that, then that helps. So you want to dress in layers. They sell really nice tank body suits. You could layer a sweater over it or a button-down shirt over it, and then when you start to feel warm, you can just start to remove the layers, because that does help a lot. Another thing, keep a fan. This gonna be your best friend. This is the best thing you can have when you're having a hot flash, because this thing, I got it from Amazon. I'll link it down below. This is probably like my third or fourth one, because I've lost them on planes, on trains. But this one, this little fan right here, she packs a wallop. She blows really well, and she will cool me off like that. And then of course I keep my Stanley, and I keep that full with ice water, because that's what I need. If I'm having a hot flash, I need some ice cold water at that moment. Another thing, well, I have that here, is drink cool liquids. So yes, you want to stay hydrated. You want to add some electrolytes to your water if you can. Like I told you guys on a previous vlog that I did, you can take some Celtic salt. You can either put a pinch of that on your tongue, or you can put a pinch of it in your water and mix it up. That helps you stay hydrated. Celtic salt has like 81 of the minerals that our body needs, so that's a good way to get your hydration in. And then or you can use some electrolyte supplement. I wouldn't so much suggest Gatorade, because Gatorade has a lot of sugar in it. So I would do something like Liquid IV, or this other one that I got. I forgot the name of it, but they sell a bunch of different I'm having brain fog. A bunch of different electrolyte packets, so you can do that as well. So another thing you can do is trying to balance your hormones. I'm sorry y'all if I'm all over the place. I'm trying to speak off the top of my head, but I can't remember nothing because I'm constantly having brain fog, and then I'm looking down on my notes. But another thing you can do is trying to balance your hormones. One option is hormone replacement therapy, but everyone may not qualify for that. I know I didn't qualify for that because, like I said, I have a heart condition, so that wasn't going to work for me. The doctor tried to put me on medications, like she tried to put me on an antidepressant medication to help with the hot flashes, but I was like, well, I'm not really depressed, so I don't really want to take that for that, because I just don't like taking medications if I don't really have to take them. So I was just like, I'm just going to deal with these hot flashes because I don't want to be taking all these medications. Then she tried to put me on metformin, which is a diabetic medication, but I'm not a diabetic. So hold on a second. Sorry about that, you guys. Okay, what was I saying? Yes, so the doctor's trying to put me on metformin to help with the hot flashes, which is a diabetic medicine. But I'm not a diabetic, and I took it maybe, but she was like, yeah, and it'll help you lose weight. So, oh my gosh, it's snowing. But I was like, I took it, and it made me have vertigo. I don't know if you know what vertigo is, but you're constantly dizzy. I took it for 2 days, and then I stopped. I told her, no, I'm not taking that. So I'm not taking any prescribed medications for my symptoms. What I do take is, I'm going to show you guys this. This is Amarin. This is a natural type supplement, and what it does is it helps relieve 12 symptoms, including hot flashes, night sweats, fatigue, mood swings, weight gain, difficulty sleeping, irritability, anxiety, and stress. It's soy-free, it's drug-free, it's safe and effective. What I will tell you about this though, you have to take it for like 2 months before it really works, but it does help. It helps a lot. I tried Estroven. Estroven didn't really work for me. They sell it over the counter just like this, but Ambervin for me, it really has helped. It hasn't stopped the symptoms, but it has helped them. It has helped ease them up. Another thing that you can take is, I take ashwagandha. And listen, before you take any of these supplements, please consult your physician. I've consulted my doctor before I take anything because I'm on medications, and so I wanted to make sure that nothing clashed with one another. I also take ashwagandha because this is good for helping you stay calm and relaxed, and it's good for helping lowering cortisol levels, which causes the belly storage around our stomach. So I take ashwagandha. I take this twice a day. And another item that I take is I take my Rise. These are not sponsored. These are just items that I take. I take my Rise, the mushroom matcha. Like, this stuff really helps. And it has adaptogenic mushrooms in it. It has cordyceps, which is for energy, lion's mane, which is for focus. So that helps a lot with the brain fog. And I can definitely tell that this stuff helps, because before I could not focus to save my life. And now I can concentrate. I can get a task done and do what I need to do. It has reishi mushrooms, which is stress relief. It has shiitake, which is immune support. Turkey tail, which is good for your gut, for healthy digestion. And then king trumpet, which fights oxidative stress. I drink this. If I don't drink it every day, I drink it every other day, but I've been drinking it for a while now, and it really has helped. Not so much with like hot flashes and stuff, but it has helped with like the brain fog, my gut health, and all of those things. 2 other items that are really good, and I don't have them over here, but let me show you this book. I got this book off the TikTok shop. It's called The Holistic Guide to Wellness. I got this off the TikTok shop because I was like, oh my God, I have to start looking at herbal remedies because it's just so much stuff that I can't do. So another item that you can use, another herb, and I have some in here, but I can't take it. I did buy it, but once I consulted with my physician, she was like, no, you can't take that with the medications you're on. So you're gonna have to find something else. Is red clover. And red clover helps with what did it say? Red clover contains and may help combat loss. Oh, okay. Red clover is good for helping combat the bone loss and stuff from losing the estrogen. Because of the loss of estrogen, it affects, like I said, your bones and stuff. So what happens is we can start to get osteoporosis, and you don't want that. That's one thing we want to fight against. So that's why doing yoga and stretching out, holding your shoulders back, and strength training and stuff, that's why you want to do strength training, because otherwise you're going to start to shrink. You're going to start to go like this, if you know what I mean. And if you don't want that, it's important that you start working against that now. Another one is, what is it? Black cohosh. Now, a lot of you, when I first started having hot flashes a few years ago, commented, take black cohosh, please take black cohosh, because that really is good for helping with the hot flashes and stuff. However, because of the medications I'm on, I'm not able to take that. But those are some options, and they come like this. I have them. I'll have to go grab them so I can show them to you. I meant to bring them over here. But yes, those are some of the things that you can do to try to help alleviate the stress. And I'm sorry if this video seems all over the place, but like I said, it's like we're a group of girlfriends just sitting down having some conversation, even though I'm the one doing most of the talking. But you know, menopause isn't the end of life. It's not the end. You know, we get through it like we get through anything else. As women, I feel like we have it hard when it comes to like our bodies and the different phases of life that we have to go through. But it isn't the end. Like, for a long time, I wasn't feeling well. I mean, I was just like existing. But now I feel like myself again, plus 30 pounds. Plus 30 pounds, but that's okay. But it isn't the end all and be all. And for the vaginal dryness, there's things you can do. There's a what do you call it, suppository you can use, and you can get that from your doctor, or I think you can get them over the counter, or you can use KY jelly. Okay, we're grown here. That just is what it is. Those are items you can use to help relieve the vaginal dryness, because with the vaginal dryness comes pain with sex, and nobody wants to be having painful sex. But anyway, yeah, so I think that's about it. You guys, I really want you to comment down below and let me know how your experience with menopause, if you're going through it, if you've gone through it, has been how did you cope with it? And if you're just starting to experience, don't worry, sis, it's going to get better. You know, just do your research. Try to go the natural route if you can, but definitely do your research. And again, you guys, this book, I'm not getting paid to tell you about this book or anything. It's called The Holistic Guide to Wellness. It has a whole section on menopause and what you can take to help relieve it. It starts on page, I think it's 148 or something like that. But yeah, it has so many, and like, oh, it has a lot of the mushrooms that are in here that are good to help with menopause and everything. I'm not trying to sell you guys this. I don't get anything from telling you guys about this. I'm just telling you what I use, because when I tell y'all, I'm just here to put y'all on. So I'm just letting you know what I do, what has been working for me. I'm not trying to gatekeep it. If I can help somebody else, because I wish there was somebody that could have helped me, then that would have made a big difference, because I felt like I was like fighting a losing battle alone, because my doctor just wasn't helping. You know, my mother was just saying she didn't have it that way, and so I had really nobody I could turn to. So I had to try to figure it out for myself, and I think I did. So I feel like I'm just sharing with y'all what I know. Like I said, I'm not an expert, but I know I have a lot of women watching my channel. I know a lot of us are going through the same thing. So if I can help y'all out, that's what I'm gonna try to do. Like I said, I'm not a doctor, I'm not an expert. Before you take anything, please consult with your physician. That's very, very important, because you don't want any counteractions between anything that you may be putting into your body. But yeah, guys, so I hope you found this video interesting. I hope you found it helpful. I'm sorry I was all over the place. I'm not good at these sit down videos, but as I do them more, I'll probably get better. I used to do them a lot more back in the day. I haven't done them in a while, but that's okay. You know, I'm human. I'm not on here trying to be perfect. This is me. This is what you're gonna get. Hopefully I explained myself clearly to you. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment down below, and I'll try to answer them if I can. I also want to say, if you're new to my channel, hey y'all, hey, I'm Anita. Welcome to the channel, welcome to the family. I do home, travel, and lifestyle content. To all my returning subscribers, you guys know how I feel about y'all. Y'all know I love y'all. Y'all know y'all mean the world to me. And if you happen to be stopping by and you like what you see, feel free to hit that subscribe button down below and become part of the family. Also, don't forget to hit your notification bell so that you don't miss any videos that I upload. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope you found some helpful tips. And as always, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. Thanks for rolling with your girl. I love y'all. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.